This video is brought to you by my gorgeous New York City theme wallpaper pack, Skyline. Link in the description and details at the end of the video. I got another rapid fire video here for you today about the 15 and 15 Plus. I want to give you 10 reasons why I've really been enjoying these models. And no, this is not like a nuanced, super objective review. I'm going to be doing one of those in about a month or two when I've really had a lot of time with these devices so I could give you, proper pros and cons, because these phones aren't perfect, but they're definitely a pretty exciting upgrade up from the 14. I would say, as I said in my previous video, the 14 to 15 jump is a lot more interesting than the 13 to 14 jump, especially for the regular models. These got decked out with some features that are 14 Pro related, but also very much distinctly 15. I think these are the best value iPhones this year. The Pro models are great, but they're not for everyone. You really get a lot of value for the money here. And the first reason I want to bring up is the new design. And yes, these phones look similar to last year, but there are some refinements that are pretty important. We have these rounded edges here, which sort of are, a quality from the iPhone 6 through the 11 or 10 or whatever. The 12, of course, brought flat sides, but now we get the best of both worlds here. Very subtly curved edges, which are very comfortable in the hand. They don't cut you as much as the previous gen 12 through 14 would. I mean, this is a nice design, but this is a lot more harsh. But yeah, it fits so much more nicely in your hand. If you're a caseless person, it's going to be even better to, do this. It sits in your hand a lot more ergonomically while retaining the flat sides that I think a lot of us have grown to love. Second reason is they have implemented a frosted glass back. This has been a aspect of the Pro models for a minute, and they finally brought it here, and I think it looks excellent. Which brings us to our third reason, which kind of accompanies the second. The colors are amazing this year, and not everybody thinks that, but I'm a big pastel, subtle color person. I love the colors across the entire 15 series because I've said this before and I'll say it again, you can always put a case on your phone. If you can't stand the color, you take it off, whereas if you have a really obnoxious, saturated color in your phone, it's stuck there. And some people like that, some people don't. Maybe Apple will bring it back. But again, the pastels are really gorgeous this year. My two favorites are pink and green, but there is a yellow and other ones, And moving on to reason number 4, these phones retain the mute toggle switch. This is not a new feature. This has been a feature since the original iPhone, but opposed to the Pro models, which have the new action button, as you may know, you still retain a pretty legendary, nostalgic legacy now feature, but I quite like it. Honestly, I kind of miss it, but nonetheless, here you still have it. So if you prefer that, you can still get a new model and still have your precious mute toggle switch. But I think the action button is eventually going to be a standard feature, but who knows? Maybe Apple will, have it as a unique feature for the Pro model next year as well. Anyway, though, moving on to reason number 5, the dynamic island is now standard in the regular 15 models. And I really enjoy this feature, or rather sort of workaround the cutout. I think it's a lot more creative and purposeful than just having a cutout like you see on many Android flagships. It's magical, but more importantly, it's just cool to watch. You get these nice animations if you're playing music. You get some, background information if you're running a timer, for example. I love the feature. Again, is it like groundbreaking? No, but it's nice to have it here, no longer a designated Pro feature only. Reason number 6 also has to do with the displays here. They get really bright, up to 1,000 typical SDR, 1,600 of course HDR, and then 2,000 in some conditions outdoors. So outdoor viewing is going to be even better or easier. And I'm a big brightness person. I'm so happy they brought Pro level brightness here. It's an equally important feature to me on a display along with ProMotion. Honestly, if I had to give up one of those features, I'd probably give up ProMotion because I love viewing bright video and photo and just media in general. So these displays paired with the dynamic island are really wonderful here. Yes, you lack that ProMotion, and a lot of people criticize Apple for that, but honestly, their input lag or rate or latency is so low you won't even notice. So even though I'm a big spec person and, tech nerd, I could totally live with these phones and be very happy. But anyway, moving on to reason number 7, USB-C is a big deal. And yes, Apple doesn't deserve a ton of credit. This should have been in the iPhone 13 series, I would argue, maybe even the 12 series with the redesign. But I'm happy that it's here. It makes charging more easy. I think you can charge your phone even faster now. You can charge your AirPods if you have the USB-C ones, or if you have a USB-C cable, you can use your iPhone's battery to charge, some stuff like that. So it's a nice feature to have. Unfortunately, with the 13 or the 15 series, excuse me, you're capped at 2.0 speeds. But honestly, I feel like anybody who really cares about 3.0 speeds is buying a Pro anyway. Nonetheless, a bit of a weird choice on Apple's part, but it's kind of what they do to get you to buy the more expensive model. Nonetheless, though, you get more versatile charging and just, you know, data connection, etc. So I'm happy to see it here. Again, do they deserve too much credit? No, the EU also forced them to do it too, but it's a nice feature to have. So if you've been holding off on an upgrade, now you have USB-C and you can charge all your Apple devices or devices in general with the same cable. Moving on to reason number 7, though, the main camera in here got a massive upgrade. New sensor, 48 megapixels, and you can use it to take 24 megapixel photos by default. You can choose to take a HEIF Max, which takes advantage of the entire 48 megapixel resolution, but for the most part, you want to just take compressed 24 megapixel images, and they are very sharp. They're noticeably sharper than the default 12 megapixel photos we've been taking with the iPhone forever. So now you get really sharp photos and up to 48 megapixel photos if you so choose to take them. And you can also now crop into 2x, which is a 12 megapixel photo, but nonetheless you have more cropping modes, not just 1x and 5x this year. So the camera got a really massive update, which is great if you want to have more creative control, especially when it comes to cropping into your images. You have just more detail to work with now. Moving past camera though, reason number 9 has to do with performance. Apple has begun to differentiate their phones a bit more. The regular models now have last gen's Pro chip, and of course the new Pro model has a new chip. So the A17 Pro is definitely more powerful here, but it comes close, or a close second is the A16 Bionic, which is a powerful chip, more graphically advanced than the A15. So you now get to benefit from the increased graphical performance you got with the 14 Pro and the regular model. And yeah, it's a great chip. I'm not complaining. Processor, architecture, and speed really isn't an issue anymore. If anything, I wouldn't use more performance than what's in here, but it's nice to know the iPhone 15 Pro is more powerful for more money. But yeah, you get an even more powerful processor in here, even though technically it is last generation. And finally, reason number 10, the price for these phones is incredible. You get such a great value for the money here, especially compared to last year's 14 models, which were a very incremental upgrade over the 13 models, and even compared to the newest Pro models. You have to really sort of justify the extra features to spend all that money. $799 starting out for what you're getting here. You get a brighter display, dynamic island, USB-C, sharper photos, and a much better refined design. I think it's a phenomenal value. If I wasn't a tech YouTuber, a tech snob, a sweaty tech nerd, I would totally get one of these and absolutely love it, especially again for the increased camera capabilities and brighter display. So I think these are really well priced. Of course, the 15 Plus starts at $899, which I think is worth it for the additional size and the extra battery life that you get as well. So yeah, these are really wonderful phones, great value for the money here, and I love the new designs as well. Yes, they're similar. Of course, you know, Apple's very slow to change their designs, but these are really refined and very comfortable in the hand. And again, I'm just loving the colors this year. They're so understated, and of course you can complement them with a more ostentatious case if you want as well. And that about wraps things up here. I will quickly mention this video again is made possible by my Skyline wallpaper pack. This is my favorite one specifically, or wallpaper. It's of World Trade Center 7. Last year I took some really sick photos of some buildings around New York, and I think you would enjoy some of these as well. They make your lock screen and home screen look pretty sick here. So anyway, here's it on the lock screen. It'll work well with the little complications or widgets, and then, you know, it looks good behind your apps as well. So that's my shtick, that's my spiel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, loving the 15 models, but again, I will be providing a more, you know, pro-con, you know, more objective, nuanced review coming in about a month or two when I've had a lot of hands-on time with these devices. Otherwise, let me know what you love about the iPhone 15 Pros, what you don't like, whatever. Share your thoughts in the comments. Check out my links to Skyline again in the description, in the comments section, pinned. And as always, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.